Okay, so we're getting to know what George's diet, musical diet was. You know, we have Bach, we have Mozart, we have Jerome Kern, Irving Berlin, and then we have new music, Berg, Schoenberg, Stravinsky, Duke Ellington, and that's not to say that George imitated them, but he was interested in absorbing everything that was out there and infusing it. Maurice Ravel was another example of someone that George loves. He was sitting here, seated at the piano, and apparently George asked him for lessons, composition lessons and orchestration lessons. And Ravel had two responses in addition to no. And the first response was, well, you make 5 times as much as I do, so shouldn't I be studying with you? And the second one is probably heartfelt and very important, which is, you could be a third-rate Ravel if you study with me, but if you don't, you could be a first-rate Gershwin. But throughout his career, he, like many people, he suffered insecurity. He felt that he didn't go to music school. So he was always looking for teachers. And he was also feeling that he could always be better, and he always wanted to branch out. Henry Cowell, famous for clusters, pieces that are written for elbows. I don't know any Gershwin. This is his big break. Paul Whiteman decides that the conservative audience of New York City needs to be turned on to jazz. So he tells about 8 people, you're in my concert. And George reads about it in the newspaper before he even knows that he's going to be having a world premiere. And he has 3 weeks. And he worries, and what does he do? He writes Rhapsody in Blue. And that's the story. The question is, in this music, what is the left hand doing? Well, the left hand is doing in this piece stride piano, which means that you're playing a bass and a chord. And this music is definitely written for much bigger hands than mine. It's written for people who can play tenths very easily. So that wouldn't be true of me. So I do the best I can, but I still play the music. And interestingly, he doesn't tell us how fast to play this. He just writes spirited. Does that mean like I have a beer before I don't really know. And here, what's also wonderful, I'm going to actually play part of this a little bit slower, is it's so intricate. So the details change every two bars, and there are a lot of things called fills. So we have the essential skeleton of the melody, but the actual things that come in between the spaces in the melody are fantastic. So check this out. Instead of, yeah, watch the fill. Really? Amazing. I mean, every note, every detail, so vibrant, so original, and you can hear that James P. Johnson. You can hear the influences, but this is brand new. This is unique. So what's unusual about the melody? Is it always starting on one? No. That's why it's called fascinating. This is what's called contrametric. It's going against the meter, and but he doesn't do that all the time. When he gets into the middle section, it starts. It's very, very straightforward. So that's an interesting juxtaposition.